They're calling for a boycott.
Well, we're gonna get you out of here. The farmhouse is the perfect place to finish your edits.
Can I help you?
Seth,
Andy? You gonna hit me with that pen?
are you gonna put some clothes on?
Well, I was really wanted to kind of play within the genre that I had written for Cowboy Christmas Romance and sort of try to come up with another story that also had this sort of spicy, Christmassy romance aspect to it. And I thought, what better way to enter into that world than have my lead character be a romantasy writer? Because I thought that could be a really fun way to weave in her storytelling with my storytelling, with how the romance develops. So that's kind of what was the inspiration. The funny thing is, I just started reading A Court of Thorns and Roses just like last week, and I'm completely obsessed, and I don't know why it's taken me so long to find this genre. I find it kind of funny that I wrote a character who's a romantasy novelist before actually reading a romantasy novel.
It's kind of serendipitous in a way. Like it kind of like it felt like you were manifesting that for yourself.
I think it was like, it's time, Sarah. You need this genre in your life. And the truth is I do need this genre in my life. Actually, no, it was out of my hands, but I'm so thrilled with who was chosen. Sasha Petersa is amazing as Andrea, and then Mitchell Slaggart is just to die for. And he's also he's a delightful surprise because he's beautiful. He's like an Adonis. And then he also has this tenderness and sensitivity and depth that is so beautiful to witness on someone who is also so beautiful outwardly. So I think, and they have just, their chemistry is sizzling. It's really amazing. It's so fun. I mean, we discovered with Cowboy Christmas Romance, it was a bit of a risk for Lifetime to say, yes, we would like to do something like this. And yes, we will keep in the sex scene that you wrote. And yes, let's just lean into the romance of it all. And then I think that risk really paid off. I mean, it was the best rated movie for Lifetime last year. And it just proves that there is an audience for every different form of Christmas movie, you know? There's also, you know, I'm also starring in Mistletoe Murders, which is a Christmas-mystery. So we have mystery mixed with Christmas. We've got romance mixed with Christmas. And it just shows that people love Christmas, but there's a whole wide range of different kinds of people that want to experience those movies in different kinds of ways.
Yeah, and like, intimacy is not a bad thing, and it's like, I feel like there's, especially with the romance element of it all, the love, like, why not add a little bit of spice in there?
Why not add some spice to the sugar at Christmas time? Why not spice it up? I mean, we know there's a massive audience for romance, period. So why not throw that into the Christmas genre too?
Yeah.
It clearly is working. People are liking it. We're seeing it on other networks as well. Netflix has Hot Frosty and another one as well. So we're seeing that people are going, oh, this is actually kind of a cool genre. Let's lean into this a little bit. It's pretty fun. Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun, and I'm actually extremely descriptive in terms of like, I think Sasha and Mitchell were laughing about how there's like so much finger flirting in the movie that was written into the script. Like his hand grazes her hand and she strokes his thumb, and it like I build these little itty bitty things because I'm witnessing the building of the whole thing when I'm seeing it in my head. And the interesting thing is that once I see the dailies, it's not always followed exactly the way that I've written it. But when I read the romantasy novels, I'm like, no, I wrote it like that romantasy novelist wrote it. You know, there's like a very clear journey to the moment when they finally come together.
You are a proponent of the slow burn.
The slow burn is so important. Otherwise, who cares? We don't care. We need to be just like dying for them to finally get together.
There's nothing like something to like. It really gets me when it's like that graze.
The little tiny graze.
Yeah.
Just a little wisp of a look, and then you're just like, oh, he loves her. She loves him. Come on. It is kind of hard to build something that really gets the slow burn in like an 84-minute movie, because you do kind of have to race through some things a bit, which is a little frustrating. Makes me kind of go, it should be like a series. If we could have like a 5-part journey too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And he can like build something in each episode.
He could build a rocking chair.
He'd build a house.
Then he'll build maybe a deck. Then maybe chop some wood.
Yeah.
Basically, he'll just be Mitchell's Instagram. Yeah, it's amazing. It's funny. I've always sort of written, and like I wrote a musical when I was 11. Thank you very much. It almost got produced in my garage, but then everybody just didn't do it because school started and they dropped out. It's fine. But then I like wrote a little one-act play in college, and I directed the spring musical in high school. So I've always had this drive to be sort of at the steering wheel creatively, and it really just took a while in my career before anyone else let me do it, you know? So I was really focused on my first love, which has always been acting and will always be acting. But as I started to dip my toes into producing, which I did the summer before my final year on the show, and then I got to direct a web series for Grey's, my final year on the show, then was nominated for an Emmy. So it was so great. All these things kind of fell into place. And then once I left the show, I found myself going, I'm tired of waiting for the phone to ring and waiting for a script I want to do and waiting for a role I want to play. I want to try my hand at making it myself and seeing if anyone wants to buy it. And so the first script that I wrote was a Christmas movie that Lifetime eventually bought. It's called Reindeer Games Homecoming, which I wound up doing with Justin Bruning. And it was a glorious experience of producing and writing and starring. And I was also shadowing the director at the time as well. And that just sort of lit a fire in me. Now, I love writing. I love producing. I love having my hands inside of all the creative pieces of how the story comes together. And it activates me on an entirely different level, on all cylinders. My eyes are seeing everything as opposed to being sort of laser focused on my personal trajectory. Not quite yet. I mean, I'm in. This summer was so crazy. I was writing Carpenter Christmas while I was shooting Mistletoe Murders, so I was truly in my car on my way to work doing my revisions on my lap. And then it was greenlit, and then it shot a week and a half after I got back from Mistletoe Murders. And then after that, I was fully into promotion for Christmas for Mistletoe Murders and everything. So this fall has been bananas. So once I have a minute for my brain to kind of get back into the creative space, I'll probably be inspired by A Court of Thorny Roses.